Should I move it?
Did it get moved?
Let me look. We'll find out. Oh, yeah. See?
Oh, I think Rock did that.
Did Rock do that really?
Rock!
Blame you, Rock.
How do I...
That doesn't look
I've
like
been
it
gone
moved at
for
all.
1 week.
Oh,
Well,
wait,
'cause
we're
Hold on,
behind.
it's behind. That's good.
Yeah, that looks good.
I
Right?
think y'all are underestimating how wide I am.
You're not that wide. Jesus.
You're not that big. Hey everybody, welcome to You're Not That Wide. We're talking about how not
How
wide
wide are you?
we are.
Not Knights of the Skinny Watch.
Today we're sitting down with our special guest, Kate Not That Wide Lancaster. So I'm glad to be back into
No,
back.
we have to do the intro.
Oh yeah, we need to do
Just
our.
forget where
show-
I've been. Let's just not discuss where I've been.
Hi, Zach.
Hi, I'm
just-
Zach.
Okay.
I'm Audie, and
We're
we're
the
the
Knights
Knights of the Drunk Watch.
Oops.
And
And
now
now
our
our
talk
talk
begins.
begins.
So, Zach, tell me about your trip.
Glad to be back into Houston. I was and apparently the land they
let me
call it the
monitor
land
the
of
chat.
Lincoln.
Illinois.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was weird. Or like the Broad Shoulder State.
I don't know what that is. But
Yeah.
Illinois is the land of
Land
Lincoln.
of,
That's
a,
the whole
bit, a
state.
lot of Lincoln stuff.
Yeah, because he's a...
I guess he's the only person. I mean, he's like I guess the biggest historical figure to come out of.
Yeah. And
Illinois.
he was kind of a big deal.
He's a big dang deal.
Okay. We're not having a Lincoln talk. This is we're
Any
talking about
hoodles.
sharp objects.
Back in 1864.
We're back.
Episode 6.
This one was
Cherry.
called Cherry for several reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So Audie, do you have? Hi, Mr.
Malcor.
Malcor. Man,
Mr.
What?
reading is
Malcor.
not good when you're on.
Reading is fundamental.
Yeah, please,
and
if you
Zach
guys
is
are just
badass.
joining us, feel free and put any questions, comments,
Yeah.
thoughts, concerns.
We have a screen right here
Yeah.
dedicated to you.
I am monitoring the chat, and I will immediately cover their eyes if you spoil from the book, just
No, but we're all
FYI.
monitoring the it's right there.
Right, but if suddenly a spoiler comes up, I'm
There
going
won't
to
be
be
any
like, nay! Anyhow.
My eyes! I can't see anything in that.
So we're discussing tonight's
I'm glad I
episode,
avoided that
Cherry.
spoiler.
So
yeah.
as far as we know, there's 8 episodes, right?
Yeah.
So we have 2 episodes left.
They really gotta.
They gotta cram, like, even knowing what happens. Yes, we are. You're
Drunk reading
Poems. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
hard.
it's hard.
It's difficult.
It's real
Yeah.
hard.
Whatever. I'm gonna drink to your drunk reading.
I was like, hello,
No.
Miss Mal.
It was Zach. Zach is drunk.
Wow.
reading.
Drunk
He did
reading.
it bad.
I'm drinking
I'm
sweet tea
drunk
with the kick.
reacting, clearly.
I'm having sweet tea with the kick.
Yeah.
And my
okay. And we're
Whataburger.
drinking out of Evian,
Evian. We're
bottles.
just having
Right.
Evian.
Welcome back to Texas Cup.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Nuggets.
So first nugget is Camille, and I very kindly and beautifully refer to these words shame walk, because she didn't really do a shame
And there
walk.
wasn't any shame.
There was no shame, and I
No
was
shame.
really glad to see that. Like, I was concerned that she was. What are you doing?
Keep going.
Oh, I was concerned that she was gonna suddenly like be all furtive and be like, "No, I shouldn't have
She
slept
got the
with this
date.
guy."
Yeah, she
and
should
all
have.
that. Yeah, I mean,
I think she
I
did it
agree
more
with
than
that.
once. What do you-
But people who have emotional problems like that tend to feel a lot of guilt and a lot of shame, and they don't process.
I'm drinking for
emotions
technical
very
difficulty.
well.
Just fanned it.
We're just randomly turning on lights. Anyway, anything anyone
But also,
wants?
we had commented on the fact that
I
we
think you
liked
turned it
that
off.
she was the only one, like she was fully
We both
dressed,
just went like,
and he was naked. It's done. I tried.
Oh yeah, so we liked that he
yeah,
was.
like he was the one who was being overtly sexualized. Well, she was the one who was like, "Bye, hon, I have a meeting."
I'm out.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
Fully
I
dressed.
was about it. I was about the
Especially
ass.
because that butt was cute.
It was
that was
so
a cute
tiny.
butt. That was a
I
cute little
enjoyed the
butt.
It was
behind.
teeny.
It was fine.
They need to stop putting so much shadow on the front part.
Yeah.
Stop shaming men for their genitals.
Yeah, just
Listen.
show the genital area. Like, why
if
are
women can
we-
show boobs,
Hashtag, what was the Kevin Bacon free the wiener?
be the.
Yeah.
If women can, I think if women are expected to show tits
and Bush.
and be sexualized for it,
Right.
I think men should
And we
show.
were actually discussing that
penis.
during the images, the fact that because of her cuts and everything, she's been consistently covered up
Right.
this
Oh,
entire
yeah.
movie.
like neck to
And
ankle.
he's the one that's been consistently naked throughout the movie.
We're
And
not mad at
allegedly, there was penis in last
Alleged
episode.
penis,
Well, no,
alleged
so
penis.
it was hard to see on this screen. I did go
They
back and
CGI'd
look.
it.
I did no, the last episode.
Okay.
I went back and looked, and there was it was one of those where they showed a long time where he was jacking off, like
okay,
that you
buddy.
could see the whole area, but it was
But was it
obscured.
But it wasn't. Probably
It was
wasn't
dark.
But they also have.
No, it was. I read an article. He was super naked.
That was
He
his
done did
penis.
it.
That was his
that
penis,
was there was
yeah.
no
'Cause they-
stunt penis.
No,
There are
no,
stunt
no
penis.
stunt anything. He. That's why he said he was happy that they used natural lighting and it was so dark in there.
Because he didn't have a
Well,
stunt penis.
I have questions that are inappropriate for this channel right now.
Whisper?
Is that a thing?
Well, now I want to know why was his stroke so wide if it was, and I have questions.
Oh, okay. You have technical
Mhm,
questions.
Logistics.
Logistics.
Definitely. I think you should drink for those.
I just did.
Okay. So, no shame to Camille's walk. We finished that. The next thing we saw was actually Alan and his, waking up on the couch and his lady records hanging around everywhere.
And I also like how, bachelorized his space is. Because that wasn't, the library.
That was like a study
That was
or
a
something,
study.
yeah.
And for a
Study.
second, I was like, does he have another apartment? Because it didn't look
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Adora
It
at
looked
all.
turn of the century,
It was
But
very,
it was-
2001.
like Odd Couples turn of the century.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like Alan in this episode, because he's so obscure and we get so little about him, I feel like up until now I had a certain opinion about who Alan was. And then in this episode, it completely flipped on its head.
crotchless.
Because not only was there the weird ladies, and he's I don't
Yeah,
know, he's
all of the records
reading
he was
and
listening to were
had
sexy
naked
lady
ladies.
records.
And then later, the whole conversation he had with Camille, and we'll discuss that a little bit later, but he just became
He
very,
seems emasculated
just completely.
and not able to talk to women.
Yeah.
Like,
I see, and maybe I'm remembering this vocabulary word wrong, but I seem to remember the word that was tied to him was ineffectual.
Ineffectual. I vote for Milky Toast.
Okay, well,
Milky Toast.
from the vague recollection I have from the book, I think they used that
drink.
word at him. Yeah, drink.
Yep.
But based on what I recall that word to mean, that feels very accurate. Of just kind
Just
of a
his-
do nothing in any instance.
yeah, his inability to actually cause change in any situation.
Yeah, because
is
he even he approached that conversation. Sorry, we're jumping to it. He approached that conversation with Camille, which was completely Adora driven, with
Right.
a confidence that he would get something done. I
I think he's just a soldier, performing his duties, because you're forgetting about the
wait,
third
hang on,
instance.
no. Let me finish
Sorry.
my whole thought. I feel like he approached that conversation with, "Oh, Adora told me to do this, so clearly I can do it." And then at the end of it, he went full in Alan mode, but
Oh, we have
full in.
wait, we have
and
$5, so we have to do something. I think we have. I'll take a drink for $5.
Oh my gosh! Thank you, Mr. Macklemore.
Thank
Wait,
you.
no, Malcor. Why did I'm sorry.
You need to
He
do
even
this again.
spelled
You
it.
keep
Mal.
giving me. I know
Phonetic.
you're giving me
Phonetic.
drinks. It is not fair.
Anyway, but so then Alan,
Malcor.
as soon as he failed, he was like, "Well, that's typical," and so he even felt zero shame when he told Adora, "I didn't do it. You're better." He was just like, "Oh, I tried to do the thing. I thought I could do the thing. I didn't do the
But
thing.
he
So
did-
clearly I couldn't have done the thing because you're better than the girls."
I think he was being totally sassy in that last conversation.
I don't think he has enough.
I think he has something inside that
Hey,
he
Josh,
keeps to
we
himself.
were late too, so we're glad that you're here definitely right on time, and we've been going for a full 15 minutes.
Yeah, no, they
For
had to have a whole
for sure.
5-minute conversation before we even started this.
My other question, but the issue is he didn't address what Adora
You got this.
wanted him.
Jesus.
It's been a week and I'm a little tipsy.
Where is the fan?
I don't know. I'm getting a little sweatsy in here.
I tried to turn
He
it
didn't
on.
address what she wanted was to move the fucking car out of the lawn.
No.
He started this whole other war, which means she's just completely ineffective in all situations.
Yeah.
Hey, say hi to Kay Richard.
Hey, K. Richard Jenkins. I'm back, bitch.
That's it. Okay.
You're stuck with me for another 52 weeks.
Right. We got a lot of
That-
exciting
yeah.
stuff coming up.
All right,
once we can get it
what's our
together.
next nugget? I think
Okay,
I'm
so
done
Alan
talking
and his
about
records.
Yeah.
Drunk Jackie with a kick and the dick have their first conversation.
I love it. I mean, and I mainly love that she is. I love Jackie. I would be friends with her. I would hang out with her.
I have written Caftan Queen.
Caftan
Queen. I'll drink to the caftan.
Yes.
Her caftans are the best.
I feel like she is. She is coming from a place not of power but of knowledge, and also that drives her.
Mhm.
So she doesn't need to have power necessarily for
Right.
power's sake. She is just doing her actions are driven by maybe even a curiosity.
I think
And like
she's
a-
like
and
a
a want
pure
to-
free spirit. Like
Yes.
she's just like
But no,
fuck all the bullshit in this town and no thank you.
yeah, I think she's in the interesting situation to be like involved in all of it, and people like her, so they keep her around. But also, like, she is kind of an impartial, but like the reverse of Switzerland, where she's involved in everything impartially.
got her
But I
finger
think
in
it's
every-
because
Yeah.
I think it's because what you said is
Somebody wants in your lap.
they want her around because she's so knowledgeable. Like, we gotta invite Jackie because Jackie will have something to say on.
She's got everybody
Every
shit on a
topic.
I
platter.
feel like she doesn't withhold stuff.
Right.
She will tell anyone anything without judgment.
But the
And so,
but
like,
it's the honesty.
Except Adora, she
Yeah.
fucking does not like Adora.
Well, no
I
one
mean,
likes
that's
But
alright.
she's on-
no
but
one
she's
likes
honest.
Adora.
But Jackie will tell you
Where's
she'll-
the talking
She
pig?
won't embellish it. Like, she's not gonna put her own spin. She's gonna tell
just
you
wanna hold
it's
it.
black and white. You know.
Yes,
It is.
she's just gonna like tell
And
you
that's
what's
what
up.
She's like, I'm searching for the word. It's not pissing post, not shitting post. She's like the litmus test of. She's just like the middle of the whole town. She's not good nor bad. She's just
Yeah.
present. Like, she's
Yeah.
the only present person.
Touchstone.
Touchstone. That's a better word.
Shit post, not touchstone.
Shit post, not touchstone.
I
She's
do.
touchstone.
No one likes Adora. You're
Yeah,
right,
no,
Josh.
she's
yeah.
the worst.
Agreed. Drink every time you hate on Adora. I do like and I mean, maybe this isn't exactly the right spot to discuss this, but I feel like this is a really interesting way to present like a murder mystery, because it's so much less about who killed. Like, we don't even like, we're like, oh yeah, maybe somebody did it, but who the fuck cares who killed those girls?
Yeah, we're
like,
invested in the
I'm
drama.
but are you not more invested in the like shit that's
I'm
going
more
down with
invested.
Camille?
I'm more invested right now of the huge cover up, because the more and more I feel that Adora knows who did it.
If she didn't do
If
it.
she didn't do it herself, she knows who did it.
So can we talk about? Going back to that? Can we talk about the conversation about Miriam? That the detective had.
the two conversations
Jackie.
between Jackie and
Yeah,
the dick.
And so I think the thing that someone
dick.
mentioned last week, and I feel like we discounted it out of hand, but now like it seems like that is true, is that maybe Adora poisoned Miriam. Someone brought it up on our chat last week.
But why
then-
would she do that? Like, why would she? That was the one daughter that was like following her lead. That was the daughter that was like doing what she wanted her to do.
Because she started to follow Camille.
Okay.
I mean, or it could have been unbeknownst to her.
Yeah.
I do know the answer to this question, so I'm not gonna.
That's fair. But
Comment
so,
on it.
without looking at Audie, I feel like that's kind of where it's leading. Because now I forgot what happened. Is he asked if there was an autopsy?
If there was ever an autopsy on her, she says she was always sickly.
Yeah.
He said, like, how did she die? She was always sickly.
But
and
they
he said,
never
was there
told
an
us
autopsy?
what she
And she
had.
said, was it like she wouldn't let, like, Adora wouldn't let anybody
Right.
carve up
But
her
they
daughter.
also never
but then there was
said-
a statement after that where he seemed to mention poison, or I don't know, something he said. Made
Well,
it think-
because she asked, what happened to the girl, Camille's roommate? And she's like, oh, she poisoned herself.
Yes, she drank. Yeah.
And that's when he's like, oh, put two and
That's
two
what it
together.
was,
Maybe,
yeah.
what's her face? Here's a bottle of bleach. Maybe you want a sippy sip. But what raises my eyebrow is we don't know how Miriam died. They never say it's of cancer or tuberculosis.
She was sick. No, yeah, she was.
But that could be
right.
a hoax for all we know. That she was sickly. She could have been poisoned. She could have been. They've never said she was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer and she died of cancer. Well, then
we
we would
haven't
know.
even seen her death scene either.
No. We've seen her, like, have coughing fits. We know she had to have an IV, but that's about it.
And she wasn't in a hospital. That's weird.
Also,
Super
just
weird.
real quick, going back to Jackie, I don't, like, town watcher, but she's also involved. K. Richard Jenkins called her the town watcher, but she's a little bit more involved
She's the keeper.
than that.
She's the town keeper.
Yeah.
I definitely think she's, I mean, like, not everybody follows what she says, but she's definitely somebody people pay attention to.
She could even be like, oh, she's like the giver. Like,
Yeah,
she has all the
She
information,
has all the information.
and she gives the information.
She's neutral good.
Yes.
I like Kate Richard. I've gone from her having an imaginary editor to the editor being the killer to Emma.
So, again, like last time, we're going to talk about all of our theories about who done it at the end.
Who
Yeah.
done?
So, we're not
So we
ignoring
won't address
you.
your...
Who done did it?
Who done did the thing. We're just going to talk about kind of the plot points before.
Okay,
we get to
so
that
then
final
the
thing.
next big and probably the biggest... Okay,
go ahead.
go ahead.
I want to
You
go
have a
back to
list?
Adora being shady.
Okay, we have more of that later.
Okay.
So the big thing that happens, and I guess this leads into
the
more
bike.
Adora being shady, is the bike was
Right.
found
And
in the pig shit.
What I think is interesting is she was the first person they called.
Yes.
And she said,
Well,
don't
she's
do anything until I get there.
Always the first person they call.
That is...
with any
Anger pig.
information.
That is problematic.
With any
And
information they
Camille
call
Camille
her.
knew that. And so that is
I
her
am
way
so
of
warm.
control. I know, I'm too. That is her way of complete
Why
control.
can't we don't know how to turn the fan on. Mark and Andrew aren't here. They've let us into the house so we could film.
I know where
and
the
we don't
AC
know how
is.
anything. It took us 5 minutes just to figure out how to work the TV.
It's too high
the
tech.
TV.
This
But
house
the
is
fan,
too
I've
high
turned all
tech.
the flips.
We've turned
This
everything
is
on.
at least 1935 technology of switches.
Wait, fan on.
So yeah, I think that's such a flag for me
I'm gonna walk around again.
that someone found a bike and like, we better call Adora.
Yeah.
Like, bitch, call the cops.
Now, mind you, it's because it's on her property.
That doesn't matter.
It's on her.
It's on
That
the
should
on the
not
pig,
matter.
On the pig farm.
Right.
They should have called the cops first, and then have
Yeah,
the
but
cops.
she's like fucking most of the cops.
Well, she's fucking the main cop. So she said, I don't know, make it work.
Andrew, Mark, are you watching this?
if
Can
you're
you make it
watching-
work?
Hang on, keep talking. Keep
Why?
talking.
Okay, so I have another. Why is KJ's comments always getting blocked?
Because they're shit. Like they have questions about if they're okay or not.
Oh, okay.
Why?
I think because you put bitch in it, and it's asking us if we want to allow it.
No, you should definitely allow
Yeah.
that because it's well deserved.
Totally want. I mean, I don't. There's more to Adora, and sometimes when people, okay, I'm going on my psychological trip. Here we go.
Do you have a book?
I have a book, and it's called Proxemics. I swear
Wait,
it's
did
a
you
word.
go upstairs to look for the flip switch?
I think
for
she just
this
turned
one?
the air down. That has to be. There it is. That was it.
No, I know.
Okay. Sometimes when people are projecting, I think Adora's projecting. I think when she says that Camille is dangerous, she can't be trusted, there's things you don't know about her, I think she's saying that about herself.
Calm down, Rock.
I think she's projecting those ideas about herself onto Camille.
Okay.
Because Camille is so mysterious, she's able to easily... There's things we don't know about Adora.
I mean, we found out a little bit that she had, like, Alan gave those reasons of why she is a troubled child. You know, why she treated Camille the way she did. But, like...
That's a later couple. We can go ahead and talk about that. Alan versus Camille versus Joy.
Yeah, Joya.
Joya.
Like
Joya.
Adora. Joya. Ugh. Should I let him out just in case?
No,
it's
he's
fine.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
That's not an excuse, though.
Fine, Josh.
That's not an excuse to, because your mom was this way, and then your grandma was this way. That's why your mom's this way. That's not an excuse.
Yeah, no, that's garbage.
That's garbage.
I do like this comment that Kay Richard just put in. The men and boys in this town are objects. dangerous sometimes, but the women are in power.
Yes.
That's true.
I do like
But
that.
at the same time, we had the pity party, which devolved into fried green tomatoes or whatever that was,
God.
and the fucking cry fest over literally
to be
nothing.
fair, it is called a pity party, so I guess that's what it was always going to be.
Pitiful.
Yeah.
And then attacking people for not having babies.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
that.
so cringe
And
worthy.
Again
Like
for that.
You're not a whole person.
I cringed so
She
hard I
said,
broke a rib.
"You're not a full woman until you have kids."
No, it's just that your heart can't
You
feel
can't-
that love.
Yeah, like your heart is not feeling
until you
everything.
have children, which is just utter shenanigan bullshit.
So we're all monsters.
Yeah.
But wait, we were still talking about Joya and
Sorry.
Adora's mom. Like, I feel like that's a big revelation, and honestly, not something that I remember from the books.
Well, yeah.
Like,
I
I
don't
don't remember
remember shit from the
mentioning. I
books.
mean,
I
this
don't
was
know why
probably
I'm
towards the
pretending.
end, but and I don't remember the end very well, except who did it.
I got nothing.
But that doesn't just because Joya, according to Alan, Joya was a bitch.
Cat.
You know, and we also found out Joya wasn't a preacher. She married into the preacher and inherited all this money.
Oh,
And
did
as
we
the
find that out?
yeah, in this episode,
Oh,
and
maybe.
as the wedding gift, the husband bought her that floor,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why Adora cherishes that floor, because that floor is supposed to last forever.
And that's
And
Alan
it-
bought her that?
No,
No.
Joya's husband.
Oh.
Joya wasn't a preacher. She married into the preachers.
So that's why Adora has the powers, because her mother
She married into the money,
Okay.
and her dad bought her mom that floor because it was supposed to last forever, like their love, whatever.
Oh,
What the
okay. I don't know if their love lasted forever.
Well,
K. Richard J says
Yeah.
that party was an other
Other
shaming
shaming
event.
event.
It absolutely was. It was
Just
like-
anyone other than them was
the
wrong.
second that one was like, you're amongst friends, you can talk. I was like, no, you're not. You're in a snake pit
Yeah.
right now.
no, they want you to talk because they want that.
They want the dish.
Yeah. Ugh, just. But there's
Okay.
people there's real people like that.
Next really interesting, intense moment where I felt my butthole pucker was
Oh.
Emma and John Keane and Camille and Ashley at the house.
at the house. I
That
just
was
don't even
major
care about
cringe.
Ashley.
I just
Just
want
what
her
a
to die.
useless
Can she be the next
person.
one? Like, please, like,
Well,
I'm fine
I mean,
with
she
it.
clearly is an opponent to Emma, right? Like she clearly is.
Ish, yeah.
The-
I
her-
mean, from the party.
she is her nemesis right now.
They're
Yeah.
both popular, but
I
they're
want-
trying to like take the top tier.
I want to, and I want to know what They were friends at one time, weren't they?
No,
I don't know anything about her, but I do want to know who bit off her ear.
Yeah.
Probably her boyfriend.
Like, she said something about Natalie, but we
Okay,
don't-
YouTube, you need to stop censoring my chats here.
Yeah, she's
Right?
the worst. Maybe I turned that on.
Did you?
Maybe. I don't
Okay.
know. You made me go rogue last week.
And so there's the Emma and what's her Jennifer?
Ashley.
Ashley. There's Emma and Ashley.
He just You just
Sorry.
approved a comment about Ashley.
Sorry. There's Emma
And-
and Ashley, and I'm kind of team Ashley because Emma is the worst.
No.
Why?
I'm team. They can both go.
Well, yeah,
fuck
they can all
themselves.
both go fuck themselves.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Emma like never gets a chance. Like she's raised by Adora.
No, but
Like,
like
she is the one
She's
of-
raised by
No.
Alan. Like
no,
nobody
no.
ever.
But no, that's the same. Adora should have been like.
Exactly.
You're doing the same thing of
Exactly.
letting her blame her issues on her parents. And
But I mean, we're
obviously that
forgiving
has-
Camille for how she acts out and cutting on herself, but we're not
that's an
forgiving
internal
Emma.
thing. She's not as manipulative and shitty, and also she is the protagonist, so we have to root for her.
Right, but also Camille knows that's bad. That's wrong.
yeah.
She only does it to get her
That's a pretty
way.
picture. Okay.
To get. Camille manipulates to get the story. Like she's
do
getting
her job.
to do her job. She's not manipulating people to put them in her back pocket for
Yeah.
later. To
And
have
also, like, I feel like Emma is equally as frustrating. I know, I knocked it out. As equally as frustrating as Adora, because like she has just these peaks and valleys that are so, or like, just the extreme opposite, polar opposites, where she will just be like, you know, I feel so close to you. I feel like we're sisters. We're having such a good
Can we
time.
have a drink?
Like, we had that whole interaction, and they kind of got close, and she was touching like her back and like talking to her and like feeling emotions about her scars, and then the next day she's in the pool in front of people being like, oh, well, you've had help, da 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 da.
That's the
da.
same thing her mom does.
That wasn't the next day. That was the day before.
They had like a close moment.
They had a close moment.
But
think about how often Adora does that to people. Like,
That's what I'm
saying.
saying.
To her in the last episode. That's what she's learning.
Yeah,
like,
but
where is she going to learn something better?
But the thing is
the maid?
No, but then you're saying that Adora is the way she is, and we can't blame her because Joya was garbage.
Well, we don't know enough about Joya, but we do know enough about Adora.
That we have seen Emma express, like, discomfort about the way that her mother treats her.
Right.
And yet she chooses to do the same thing.
To Camille.
She could be like, I don't like how this affects me, so therefore I will not do this to other people.
But psychologically, to her, that means love.
No, fuck that, no.
I think she's, it's a power play. She, again, because she's there with Ashley.
Richard and Josh agree with you guys.
Emma has to show Ashley and all the other cool girls.
Where'd Mr. Malcor go?
That
Malcor,
I have to one up my sister because
there's 5 people watching.
Anytime my sister is there, she's the bad bitch.
Every time Camille is there.
Every time Camille is there. So if you notice, she only does that when Camille is there with her friend, with other girls.
Emma is cruel. Adora's doing it for power. Emma's not doing it for power. She's doing it to be mean.
She has no power in her life except what she makes with these horrible actions, and that's the only way she knows to get that power. I just feel like we're forgetting that she's an abused child too, and she's been there just as long as Camille was ever there with her.
I don't know. Their actions are shitty.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you.
And Camille's making conscious decisions to pin her sister against her mom.
She's not exactly likable either, but
she's pinning her sister against her mom.
Yeah.
She's doing that on purpose so she can get away with things. Now that Camille's here, my mom will pay attention to Camille.
What do you guys think John Keane knows about the whole situation?
I don't think he knows.
He's throwing a lot of shade at Emma.
But
I mean, maybe he is like a lot more aware, or
I don't think he has details. I think he knows that Emma is involved in something, or Emma was the catalyst for something that maybe is not criminal, but it is incriminating.
Yeah.
Right? Because it seemed like the two weak links in weak links in the group were the ones that got killed. Correct? The 2 non-popular girls got killed?
Not necessarily. They had a falling out. Oh, no, I guess with each other.
That's me. Sorry, I cussed.
No, you're fine.
I think I changed it. Sorry. We'll figure it out.
So I think he knows... I think that's what... Maybe he does know something concrete. That's why they're blaming him, to keep him on the ropes.
Yeah, he seems to at least be involved in something.
They're
somehow.
keeping him on the defense for some reason. Oh, I need to put my computer in.
Honestly, none of them are good people. Yes, that is correct.
Sorry, Rock. Keep going.
Okay, Richard said, see, Camille just likes peeing on Adora's shoes.
Well, who wouldn't? Fuck Adora.
Okay,
Fuck Adora.
Let's go into...
Is that a Muppet, fuck Adora?
This is all related together. Is when she's young, the girls carry Camille about her period. Then somehow Camille is some kind of legend in the town. We know something happened with the teacher, and he thinks that it's not good. Like he thinks that it was rapiness. Like, this is all relating to what
Mr.
Camille
Lacey
went
thinks
through.
that the gangbang was a gangbang, which apparently it was.
I have written we both got fucked.
Camille has just been downplaying it this whole time.
I told y'all it was rape. Nobody believed me that it was rape. Fucking rape. Show me the receipts.
Let's go back to the beginning of that comment, which was what?
I have been proven right.
Because that was a gangbang.
What was the first part of your nugget?
My first part of my nugget is the girls carry Camille about her period.
But she wasn't on her period.
But it wasn't her period.
No, but it wasn't her period, yeah.
She was cutting her inner thigh.
Yeah, with the word cherry.
Yeah,
so I have to...
Her friend, the one lady said she saw the word.
That was when she still had her long hair, right? Because the gangbang happened when she had her long hair. That's probably what she cut
So I
her
wonder
hair.
if she was cutting it because she just lost her cherry.
I bet so.
Maybe.
And remember what the African American lady said? She in the car. She was like we were like ripe cherries.
It's so interesting though, because she didn't even relate it to sex.
But it was so sexual. And Adora did it as well earlier in the episode when she's first put on her cheerleading outfit.
Yeah, she said, "Aren't you just?"
She said, "You're like a juicy plump cherry or something."
Oh yeah.
Like it was sexual, like
I don't
in
know,
a way that a child shouldn't necessarily sexualize
that awesome
it.
woman from the party who was just like, "I'm not buying into any of this bullshit." Also, the way that she said it was just like, we're all so like plump and ripe on the outside, when like inside we're just hollow pits or whatever.
Yeah,
and
dark hard pits.
Well, that's fine.
yes.
Sorry, I have cat belly that I'm petting.
That's true.
Rape, yes, Malcor, rape.
I mean, yeah, well.
Okay, Richard, we thought that Camille was portraying it as differently, but she was just because she's traumatized. So,
but also, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. That wasn't her only tryst with the football team. It seemed like she seemed to have other encounters.
we've only seen that time.
Because then, what is her claim to fame then?
That she fucked a bunch of boys in the woods.
Well, then he was talking about blowjobs and all that. So I wonder
she's
if
like blown a lot of people.
My
she was
figure,
promiscuous.
I figure that she did the gangbang. Like she wasn't sure she wanted it, but it happened anyway. Like it was probably some gray area, even though there really is no gray area.
I mean, not even. Sorry, I'm not trying to have the like there is no gray area. Because to be fair, last week I was arguing not rape. So I think my thing for this is that
no matter what I say, she argues with me.
This is definitely rape because the guys feel like it was.
But this time,
he feels like this one time it was.
Well, this one guy does, but the other guys were all like laughing about blowjobs in the bar.
If the cute one with the cute smile thinks it's rape, they all think it's rape. Let me finish my thought.
Or they know it's rape.
Let me finish. Yeah, or they know it's rape. But I bet after that, she said, this thing happened, and whether I realize it was rape or not, it didn't kill me, and it made me feel something, so I'll do that again. Mm-hmm. And as probably as someone who cuts, like that is an equivalent thing of either cutting or being sexually promiscuous. You're feeling, and usually you can't feel, or you're not in control of your feelings, which is what Amma said when she was like, no, if you let them do stuff to you, or if you do stuff to them,
you're in control.
And so Camille probably resonated with that.
So it definitely seems like Amma is following in those footsteps. Like Amma is also being promiscuous. We don't know what she's done with boys, etc. So.
Yeah, not even humiliating herself, but just like having those sexual interactions.
No, I agree with you. That's exactly what I was thinking. Like cutting herself is a way of hurting herself. Being promiscuous is a way of hurting herself. Yeah. It's a way of bringing pain onto herself.
But it's also a sense of control, though.
Yeah.
It's a sense of, I'm going to give you a blowjob. I could bite your dick off.
So she was promiscuous, and Amma is mean, and somehow one is better than the other.
Well, and we also don't know...
Amma's a bitch.
Right, and the other one was a hoe. Like, how are any of those okay?
Because one is just internal. I mean, one is...
Choose your words very carefully.
Sorry, I realize that,
but also, sex typically is internal. We're forgetting one huge fucking thing. Her mom does not love her. She is lacking a big proponent.
Zach is really stuck on that.
No, but that's a big... When your mom... You know your mom doesn't love you.
And I don't feel that Amma feels that way.
Her mom loves her. She just said, you know what I like the most is when my mom takes care of me when I get fucked up.
But she loves her.
It's like coddle her. Her mom coddles her.
But she only loves her as long as she follows her mother's rules and is exactly who her mother wants her to be. I think
her mom unconditionally loves Amma.
Oh, we have an order for more wine.
More wine.
How about dropping us a little super chat down there?
Okay, Mr.
Like
Mackey.
Mr. Malcor did.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Malcor. $45.
Again, so she did not have love. She doesn't know who her dad is. Her mom doesn't love her. So she's turning to sex. She's turning to cutting. She's not in control of her emotions. So, there's a lot.
Sorry, pause. Josh, we're having a great fucking conversation, so thank you.
That's what he means. We're having more wine. It's a better conversation.
The more wine, the better the conversation.
I know, but our conversation's great so far.
I think
it's a compliment.
I think he wants us to delve into that giddiness we get into, like during Game of Thrones. We're talking about.
Okay, Care Richard agrees with you guys. Inward directed damage is sad. Outward directed is cruel.
Yeah.
I
Emma's
just
a
think
bitch
that
to other people.
I think people react in different ways to being emotionally abused, and
but
we're being very judgy.
But here's the thing: is that, and maybe it is judgy because I don't have this trauma, so fine.
You don't live with that bitch.
But
I don't live with that bitch.
I don't live with that bitch. But also, Camille lived with that bitch, and she is not cruel. Even when she's manipulative, she's not cruel. She is not cruel and like cruel on display. Emma's kind when she's one-on-one, but she's cruel when she's around other people. If Camille is cruel, it would be on a one-on-one. I know this about you, and I'm using it to get power. And that might be a sense of cruelty, but it's not the, like, cruelness on display, which Emma does. She's only mean when she's around other people.
Emma is privileged, where Camille was not.
That's true. She was.
So Emma is.
Well, I mean, yes, she had money, but like Camille doesn't live in a fancy house now. She doesn't like.
But Emma did not. I think it was.
She was a cheerleader. I don't understand.
No. I don't think. In other words,
she was a cheerleader because she's Adora's daughter, and they had to make her cheerleader.
But
that's privilege, though. But I think.
Yeah.
I think she may have been like the black sheep of the family, of the Preaker family, and so everyone knew, oh, that's the black sheep. So. That she didn't. I don't think she got the same privilege as Emma is getting now.
I do think it's interesting that Alan
she
compared,
was always seen as like with a cast.
Like because she had the dead sister, and so it was all this like this dark black sheep kind of.
I've been petting you for like 10 minutes, and you're leaning on him.
That
Whatever. Sorry. Yeah, go for it. Adam.
I think it was interesting that that Alan actually compared Camille to Joya. Yeah. He said, "You're like Joya. You're just like your grandmother.
Because you're being cruel to Adora."
See, I would think that maybe that's where Adora's hatred towards Camille stems.
If she actually is,
she's kind of like her mother, which treated her so poorly, which then just becomes a cycle of complete abuse.
Well, he gives the example of he would go in her room and pinch her at the middle of the night to make sure she was still alive.
Still not as bad as some of the shit Adora does emotionally.
Which kind of like is not completely like a negative thing.
Right, she's checking to make sure she's still alive.
Because,
you know, Josh makes a good point. So he says maybe Emma feels that she needs to project a persona of cruelty. I can kind of see that.
Especially in this town of bitches.
Well, but not only that, but she sees her mother.
Bitch brigade.
She sees her mother being cruel, but Adora does it on such a subtle and high level.
Microaggression.
You know, like all of that, and she's being very cruel, but it's not obvious to other people. But Emma's like 15, so she doesn't have that skill yet.
The
so
subtlety.
She's still being cruel, and she thinks this, but she's just mean. So I can kind of see that.
That southern covertness.
Yeah.
Emma is Adora on steroids. Bad seed plus bad nurture equals dead girls with pulled teeth.
So yeah, he's fully into the Emma did it this week.
Got it. Stay tuned for Mark to tell you it's everybody.
Well, no, apparently stay tuned for Kay Richard to tell you it's everybody.
Okay, this was like a weird little bit, and I don't understand where it came from. Dick Willie goes to Camille's hospital. Where the fuck? How the fuck? What the fuck?
Well, maybe Jackie told him something.
But, like, we didn't see that shit. If you're an editor or a director, like, you need to tell me how the fucking fuck he got there.
But, I mean,
public records.
Do you think that's what Adora told him way back in the house in the last episode?
But there's public records. I mean, he has access to all that.
I think part of this is...
No. That just happened on Nights of the Drunk
The dead pig kissed my arm.
It's all better now.
I think what we're forgetting is that he's a detective.
He is a detective.
And so, like, he has the touch points of, like, I haven't seen her body. She's weird about that. She has a touch point.
But he's not showing us any of that.
Wait, but I know, but this is not a show for stupid people. They don't have to show us anything. Or, like, everything. And so, like, we've seen what Dick has seen. We've seen that Adora told him that she had another, like, episode, or, like, that she has a hidden past, or whatever Adora said.
Right.
We know that he had a conversation with Jackie a little bit, and then also he knows that, like, he had sex with this woman who came to his hotel to instigate, and yet
refused to take her clothes.
No clothes, like, and she was gone in the morning. So I think he's, like, putting together. I know, I'm very excited. Oh no, you're not looking at that at all.
No, I have a point. I'm pointing to the camera. I think
I think that, like, I know that it seems like a stretch, but also, if he is a good detective, which we have no reason to believe that he isn't, he's putting the pieces together of she's got a sordid past. I know that she's an alcoholic. Maybe I check the nearest psych hospital
But
because she
also,
checked in for rehab.
Several people have told him there's things you don't know about her.
Yeah.
Which piques my interest if I'm a detective.
Right.
And then he also told Jackie, because didn't she say something? Tell me something I don't know. And he told her that her roommate had killed herself. Is it what he told Jackie?
Jackie.
Yeah.
Jackie didn't know that Alice had killed herself.
Yes.
So
But that was in the second conversation after he went to the.
That was
the
in the bar,
hospital.
not the car.
Right, but I mean, what I'm saying is, and I feel like he has been interested in Camille before this, like in her past, before this episode.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Not necessarily in is she the killer, but just like before I put my dick in this, let me make sure this is not like crazy Craig.
Malcor says he thinks Amma knows that Adora and the sheriff orchestrated the killings.
Okay. Are we
So
there
he's-
yet? Are we to our
that our
prediction?
Yeah, that's really the last thing. I mean, the only thing we had was the party, but we pretty much discussed all that.
Yeah.
And then I wrote, "Who dis bitch with the bourbon?" But we figured that out.
Yeah.
Who's this bitch with the bourbon?
She's just a bitch.
So, who done it?
Who done it? Okay, so far,
K.
just
Richard
review.
Jenkins thinks Amma did
It's
it.
Amma, and Malcor,
And Malcor
believes.
thinks Adora and the sheriff.
What
did
about
it.
you, Josh? Who do you
Josh,
think
who do
did
you
it?
think did it?
Who done did it?
So when you while you're answering, we can talk about just how I feel.
can't.
So I want to talk about how I
can.
feel about their opinion. So
I will be answering
did
your chat.
Amma do it? I don't think so. I think Amma's too wounded and too conflicted and too
She doesn't do any dirty work.
no. Yeah, because if she did it, it would be with her and her friends. But
Yeah.
also, it's too close to home.
And then someone hasn't leaked that, like those kids haven't blabbed.
Yeah.
They're on fucking Oxycontin, and no one's.
I don't think it-
we
unless-
killed that girl and hit her. Like,
Unless those girls were killed with roller skates, I don't think Amma did it.
okay.
Josh says he has no effing clue. All of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, burn them all.
I'm pretty sure you're gonna find out next
Oh, you
episode.
think
So I
so?
really like the idea that Adora and the sheriff orchestrated. Like,
Here
I don't know if I like it in that I think that's what it is, but I just like thinking about it.
Here are the clues we have.
Okay.
We know there's 2 girls that are dead.
Jesus, is that?
I'm starting at the beginning.
Okay, good.
He's Sherlock Holmesing right now, Watson.
Starting at the beginning.
There's gonna be just
There's
he'll
two-
edit
Right.
in the.
There's strings going across the screen. We have 2 dead girls.
Yep.
We know that it's of course it's a small town. Everyone's connected in every kind of way, so we can't really go by that. They were both seen to be murdered or found in the same manner,
Kind
but
of.
slightly different.
Yes.
So it also can lead us to believe it could have been 2 murderers. Correct? Right? I mean,
Don't look at me.
but that evidence is a
And
possibility.
also, they were kidnapped, and then we found the bodies a week later.
Right.
Like,
so
there
those are
was a-
similarities.
Yeah.
Their ages are similar. Their type
Same
and their
friend group.
Don't forget the pig head with him
What?
ripping the teeth out.
Right. That's
Took
what I'm
some
saying.
strength.
They were found in the similar
Yeah.
similar state, not identical,
Right, because did they both have their teeth pulled or
Yes.
just
Yeah, I
okay?
think
but they were not sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
So it was not a crime of sex or like.
Well, in
rape
this
and-
episode was when they said Camille even said and they've been saying this all along. Like Camille was like, everybody's looking at all the men in this town and nobody's looking at the women. And all we've been
Right.
looking at is the fucking women. Like we've just been seeing crazy bitch brigades
So then
everywhere.
today we find out that someone had they found this bicycle in the pig shit.
Yeah, which
Camille said, which was a good idea, it's either 2 ways. They're dumb or
Or they're
someone's
trying
trying
to
to frame. Which I would lean toward the second
framing.
because it happened
Who are they framing? Adora?
It came out after her article came out. So in the
Framing
timeline,
Camille?
Camille's article seemed to be everyone took it as everyone read it the way they were going to read it, right?
Yeah.
Everybody read it the way they believed
Hey,
it to
Richard's
be.
already jumping in. Amma, let's see to the pig farms. Amma did it.
And so they found that so we don't know when the bicycle was left. We just know we just found it.
Yeah.
Which I think is weird. Which also means they did not search the fucking pig farm when
Right.
looking for these girls.
Right. Well, he didn't slap
So-
the shit to look for
Right.
the girls.
Well, I doubt that Adora would allow them to tromp all over her
Which is
fucking
bullshit.
property.
There's 2 little girls missing. Fuck you.
Right, but who's in charge? The fucking
She has the
sheriff.
power.
So I mean, I'm super leaning toward, at the very least, Adora knows what happened.
Yeah.
Whether she orchestrated the murder or she did it herself or she saw it, I think she knows about it.
Okay.
I think she knows who the killer is. I don't think it's a sheriff. I don't think he's smart enough.
Do you think it's Camille?
No, I don't think it's Camille. The less and less why would she want to go back to that town? And why would she kill those girls? It seems like she would kill girls that have power. If she was to be a killer.
Really Sucked is gonna come on here. Something
Yeah.
we can't. Audie's read the book.
I mean, I definitely put the blame on Adora. I think Adora knows who did it. So she's obstructing justice, is what I'm saying.
Wait, it's Ann Nash and what Keen?
Natalie.
John,
Natalie.
John, and I don't think either of the suspects they have out there are the ones that did it.
No.
That dad seems so torn up.
And especially
He
like
seems
that
like
was
legit, like
because that response was the response you have to them finding the bike of your kidnapped child.
right.
Or
Like-
your accidentally murdered child you feel a lot of great guilt over.
No,
I'm just
I
stirring
feel-
the body
Yeah,
of
no,
folks.
but I really feel like based on all of the television that I've watched, that is the response of actors who are responding
And that
to
is our
the oh, your child was kidnapped. There still might be hope that they're alive. Oh wait, no, there's not.
Well, we knew that there was no hope.
No,
They
I
found the
understand
body.
that, which
Okay.
is why that response was a little bit strange. That's why we all reacted strangely to it because it was so much. I understand that it brought it back up again, and maybe it was an acting choice and not a writing choice, but it did feel like that was a very, very, very strong reaction. Like I'm saying, that is a reaction of someone who just found out that the child they still thought was alive is dead.
K. Richards on track.
Ella did it.
I mean,
I'm
who,
curious if
totally
they
understand.
did it next week.
who would frame Amma though? I mean, who would frame Adora and Amma?
No,
Alan.
he's saying Amma put the bike in the pond to torment Adora, to bring heat on Adora.
Amma's not getting anywhere near that fucking pig shit.
Why?
I think the
What?
more interesting thing
What is that statement? What? She's already been near the pig shed.
She's not pig shit.
Oh, you could throw a bike in and knock it in.
I think the more interesting thing is they did not search the pig farm.
Yeah.
That's what that tells me. Is they found this bike a year later?
So do you think the teeth are on the pig farm?
Yeah, it is like a year later.
Maybe. I mean,
Where are the teeth?
my thing is search the fucking pig farm now. Like,
Maybe they will.
search warrant that shit.
To be fair, we've seen.
Okay, now we're back to the editor.
No.
You can't go back, K. Richard. You
K.
gotta
Richard
stick
J.
to it.
And his wife, really?
Eileen
His
was
wife,
very
his
kind.
finally speaking wife.
They're all sitting on the couch. We killed those girls. We were selling newspapers.
That's a great plot.
That's a
ending.
murder
It's
she
just
wrote.
like,
That's a murder she wrote stuff.
We needed to
We're
make
losing our-
self-encyclopedia.
We were losing our
Brown.
newspapers. We decided to murder 2 girls in local towns. That's great.
and pull their teeth.
And pull their teeth. So that's the thing. That's the most interesting thing I got out of that. Is that
Pig farm.
they didn't search the pig farm.
But also, like, we haven't seen any of
The
the,
one
other.
place
Wait,
you dispose bodies all the time.
Let me finish my sentence. We haven't seen any more of the investigation other than that. So, like, the rest of the episode was just drama, and so maybe like in the next episode we'll see the furthering, because each episode we're only getting like a little bit of piece of the actual investigation, and the rest is town drama. So I'm saying that just because we haven't seen them search the pig farm, it could take 24 hours between finding
But they
a
had
bike.
no reason to search the pig
They
farm.
found a fucking bike of a murdered
Bullshit.
Now,
Stop.
yes,
No,
but before they found the bike, there was zero reason to search the
They're
pig farm.
searching the
Incorrect.
woods for this bitch.
Incorrect.
That is private property. You can't just go into someone's property.
Yes, you can.
Wait, I'm sorry, that blew up.
You go to the judge because that's bullshit. The one place you're gonna fucking murder somebody where you can hide
Is
all the
where
evidence is a fucking pig farm.
Classically, where do you put
You
dead bodies?
do not
You
go
throw
to the
them
most
into the
powerful
pigs.
person in town and
Yes,
say
you
that you're going to
do.
search their land without any probable cause. You have no probable
We're
cause.
looking for people.
That's not probable cause. You have
And
to find something
ma'am,
tiny.
We're
No,
looking
ma'am.
for children.
The
thing
bike is probable cause.
No. The thing is that we are looking for kids.
Two missing
like,
girls.
But the thing is, you have a constitutional right against illegal search
I
and
understand
seizure.
that, but what
No, I don't
we're
think so.
saying is that maybe the police don't have sure, the
You
police
own a
don't have a
fucking
right
slaughterhouse.
to search.
No.
But Adora, like, unless she has something to hide, as a place of power and a huge fucking footprint in the land, they were going through the woods and searching. Why would they not search another huge parcel of land for these
You
missing
own a
girls?
slaughter-
Because she
house.
doesn't want her name tainted
That
with that
doesn't
crap.
matter.
But if you didn't do it,
So you had nothing to
then,
hide.
then everyone works there. She's not necessarily implicated. Like, it won't be good,
Right.
but she'll have done everything she could. Like, she could
Right.
spin that
All
the
that
right
bacon
way.
is real
But
bad
she's
now.
not
Yeah.
gonna get out. She's not gonna go out of her way to connect her name or to volunteer information.
Do you know what
However,
a search
the
warrant
police
is?
had no. But they can't get a search warrant until they found the bike. There is no legal grounds for them
It's
to
a
be on those
slaughterhouse.
grounds.
It is a legit
There is
slaughterhouse.
nothing connecting those
They
two.
have-
That means you can
they-
just go search every slaughterhouse or butcher or grocery store that has a
Yes.
butcher in the
If
fucking
two girls go missing near and around a slaughterhouse,
internet.
I feel like you would look for her.
I don't feel
always
like-
look at the pig farm.
But
Yeah.
you don't have a legal license.
farm.
what judge would be like, no,
Like,
you
have
don't
you
have
seen
any basis
Deadwood?
for
They had 8 pigs and they would throw the bodies in there. Like, that's where they put bodies.
What judge is going to say, no, not the pig slaughterhouse. I'm sorry. That has no constitutional basis.
You
Good day.
have no-
That's
okay.
bullshit, Adi. I'm
Look
sorry.
it up. Legally,
You
they
are
have
the-
no
you
right to
are-
go in there
you are
because
not-
there's
no,
nothing connecting
This tells
those
me
two.
one thing. If I murder somebody, Adi is not defending me.
There's not even.
because
No, I would be a great defense
You're
attorney. You're
awful-
talking about a prosecutor.
You're an awful
I
lawyer.
will not be your prosecutor. I will be your defense attorney, and I will get you off because that is a legal search and seizure.
That is, you get a warrant. Go look at the slaughterhouse.
Based on what probable
No, see,
cause?
I think we're like coming at it. I don't think that they have grounds for a warrant, but I think it is very sketchy on Adora if they were like,
I will
we
agree
want to
with that.
search your
Yes,
property.
Nah.
I'll allow it.
Yeah, and she was like, no.
No.
That's sketchy as fuck.
That
I
is
don't think
sketchy
they
as
had.
fuck,
Yeah, they
but-
didn't have grounds for a warrant, so they
I
That's
think
why
they
they
would.
didn't
Go on.
find
I think they would.
the bike.
Jesus,
think
we
they
just
would.
You
yelled
need to
for
go
like
read
10
your
minutes.
constitution.
I really think there's not a judge to be like,
No.
Your Bill of Rights.
Josh, if they change it from the book to the show, that would be completely buck
skip the.
wild.
You know what?
No,
You know what?
I will be angry.
No, don't look in the slaughterhouse. For what? What? Thought she owns a toy store, or like a cotton field, or like something that's just.
I feel like
Whoa.
I'm 50% between the two of
Whoa.
you.
But I'm just saying, like, it's not like she like raises corn.
Ladies and
She
gentlemen,
raises
the
this-
state of today's politics.
She raises carcasses. Is what she's raising. She's raising carcasses to slaughter.
The law doesn't care what your establishment is. What you do for work does not equate probable proof. The bike is probable
Lambs.
cause.
Wasn't that lambs? Sounds of lambs.
What I'm saying is,
No,
She
not
has-
if you watch Hannibal, where he feeds that one guy to the pigs.
Yeah, no, I haven't
she
watched
has
Hannibal.
the perfect facility for disposing
A
or murdering a
body.
body, keeping a body,
Great.
hiding a body.
That's super frustrating.
hear the
but
screams
legally,
over-
you can't go in there and look at it.
Very few judges deny any. Really?
That's yeah. I mean, go look.
That's not what Law and Order says. Just saying.
That's
Sorry.
called drama,
Sorry.
I
Well,
mean,
we're
I'm
not
sorry.
watching real life, man.
ma'am. If a slaughterhouse was within
I
God
need a
forbid
lawyer
something
here
happens.
stat.
if a slaughterhouse was
Mr.
within a
Malcor,
mile,
is that a Mr. Malcor?
Are
Like,
you a lawyer?
JD? Like, can you give us some
Right.
actual information?
Are you Your Honor, Mr. Malcor? Mr. Malcor, Your Honor?
Your Majesty, Mrs.
Judge Malcor.
I'm just saying, if there's a slaughterhouse within a 1 mile radius, what the fuck? Why did we
See,
not look?
I'm not on I'm just saying property acreage wise.
It's like, oh
they
guys,
need to search that for children.
We're not gonna
if
look at that-
a child is missing.
we're not gonna look at the spooky house on the end of the street where the kids go missing. No, let's skip that house because old man Carruthers lives there. He won't
Wait,
let us.
so K. Richard Jenkins, did Adora do it or did Amma? Because Adora is the pig farmer, not
guilty
Amma.
until proven
What if it's the
innocent.
pigs?
Yes, K. Richard.
What if it's actually the pigs that did it?
Pigs did it. They just attacked
We're
them and
all
ripped out.
fucked,
It's
yeah.
Animal Farm.
Ooh, yeah. All right, I think we
Okay.
derailed. I think we've gone to
we're
men.
done.
That's
We've
really,
gone almost an hour.
Any last thoughts, comments, and
He
rude
did
remarks?
stay at a Holiday Inn.
Hell yes! Oh, Mr. Malcor is my new favorite.
Not that we don't love everybody else.
We don't love you.
Sorry, but K. Richard Jenkins has been like a longtime favorite, and Josh has been a recent favorite. I'm allowed to have a new favorite.
Okay.
My favorites
Everybody's
change
our
all the
favorite.
time.
You're a slut.
Okay, well.
Hey.
Don't slut shame.
I'm not slut shaming her.
I will tattoo slut shame on your
You don't know what I did in Chicago.
Ha! Josh says there must be substantial evidence for them to prove a warrant. Ha ha!
A slaughterhouse is
vindicated.
not substantial evidence?
A slaughterhouse is not shit, Zach.
All right.
Anyway.
Okay.
I would look in the slaughterhouse.
Thank you
So-
guys
Just
so
saying.
much for coming here and screaming and
Absolutely.
drinking
That's why,
with us.
that's why y'all don't win Clue. Just saying.
If you're not the four people
I just
watching,
won Clue the last
Yeah.
time we played it. Thank you.
I'm gonna do
'Cause
all the
I
official
told you,
shit.
bitch.
You didn't tell me nothing. I figured it out on my own.
I told
Bullshit.
you.
I went on my own because it was on my last one. Whatever.
So,
We're done.
internet,
Hi.
hi.
Thank you.
If you haven't already, if you're watching this later and aren't the four people who like to have us yell at them, then please subscribe, hit that little bell icon.
Press the
that
thumbs
gives
up
you
button.
notifications.
You're going to want to subscribe. This is why. American Horror Story is coming. I will not be on this couch for 2 weeks. And I'm going to be bringing you... I think I'm going to do a breakdown of each episode.
Okay.
Oh, for some reason I thought you said you don't want to subscribe and this is
No,
why.
I say you do want to subscribe because American Horror Story is coming up, and I think I'm going to rewatch Murder House and Coven
Oh.
and break down the episodes. Which I need to do
Nice.
like today.
When does
Yeah.
it start?
Starts at 12.
Are you gonna do a
Okay,
podcast?
anyway,
or-
hang on,
Maybe.
hang on,
Okay.
hang on.
Also, we will be trudging through The Walking Dead later this year, drinking an
No, I'm trying to
obscene
do
amount.
like more pertinent things. Like Mr. Malcor helped us with. He gave us $5 and that goes to like helping with new equipment and booze and podcasts and everything.
Subscriptions.
So we're on Patreon, so if you give us even just $1 a month, you get extra exclusive like content of us just
the
being
most ridiculous
more
shit.
ridiculous than this. And it helps us a ton. So hop on over to Patreon if you enjoy this.
Teaser, I got fucked with the plunger on Patreon.
There's a video. This isn't
There's a-
just a,
there is a-
story.
There
There's
is
a
absolutely a video.
If you go to Patreon, give me $1, I will share my plunger porn with you.
and there's
This is
our
real.
dear friend Mark twerking.
This is these are all real things that I did.
Andrew was twerking.
Andrew is twerking.
In front of
Andrew.
a full room of people.
Right. Also, join us to discuss Gwyneth Paltrow's sex toys. We have a lot of really fun stuff on our channel.
$1 a month.
$1.
And then
That's-
follow their podcast, Doing It for the Podcast. Mark and I are discussing doing a book reading podcast of the Game of
Absolutely.
Thrones ones,
Mhm.
Yes.
leading up to
I would join
the
that.
premiere, discussing the books, but not like with the full
Mr.
knowledge
Malcor,
of the show.
you know what? Just keep it moving, okay?
No, we don't
Wow.
want to keep him moving.
Fun was had by all.
Zach Baxter. Josh. Zach Baxter is the name.
No, he doesn't want to see you get fucked with a plunger.
Well, just
I
skip
think.
that one. Just skip that video. It's a 20-minute...
It's a PG-13 video. I
I'll
will
type
tell
it
you
here.
that.
I'll type it here. I'll type it here.
All right, guys. Thank you so much
Someone
for
keep
joining
talking a
us.
little bit.
Please share this with your friends if you think they'll get a fun laugh out of it. Stay tuned for Castle Rock podcast /reaction / all sorts of fun things we're doing with
Fraggle Rock.
that. No,
Yep.
Castle Rock
Castle
on
Rock.
Hulu. We were super psyched about all of that, and of course, American Horror
American
Story.
Horror Story. I
coming.
moved on already. I'm done.
That's because you haven't seen the last episode of what happened on Castle Rock.
I'll get there.
Okay.
I'll get there.
Close it out, because geez.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
it's been here for an hour. Good night. We're the Knights of the Drunk Watch.
And
Now
now
our
our
Talk
talk
has
has
ended.
ended.
Good night, everybody. I'm glad I'm back.
All right. Thanks, Andrew and Mark, for letting us be in your house without you.